Hey everyone, welcome to Past Lives and the Divine. I'm Gina, and this is the podcast where we enjoy some wonderful, freeing conversations about our connection with past lives and the divine out there, the divine inside each and every single one of us. And we do this for healing, getting to know ourselves a little better, and of course we do it for a little entertainment because entertainment just makes life a little bit sweeter. So in today's episode number 24, I am going to be talking about just mainly kind of the biggest part of this episode is another opportunity for you all to heal and learn more about yourself via a complimentary hypnotic journey. And that's at the very last part of this episode. And you can keep this episode downloaded to your phone or your tablet or your laptop or your computer, however you listen to this. And you can just keep it there. And you can listen to it as much as you'd like. So consider it a complimentary gift during this considerably, turbulent time on this ride that we call life on Earth. Okay, so here is how this podcast is going to kind of unfurl itself. I'm going to talk about the upcoming Spirit Guide workshop I've created for you all because I get so many questions about contacting spirit guides, how to do it, what is a spirit guide, how can you keep it going, how can you keep that channel open. And so I've created a little something for you that I'll talk about. And then I will talk about other additional just free resources for accessing the insights and healing from our past lives, our higher self, our spirit guides. Because I've created that workshop, I just want to give you this gift of a complimentary, another hypnotic journey that can help you learn more about yourself and heal. Just because not everybody's got the extra funds right now or the extra time, and I just want to be inclusive of that. So even if you can't do the Spirit Guide workshop that I have coming up that I'll be talking about, I want to point out some other free resources for you to access that healing, those insights, just kind of those good feelings. I always feel just so much better having that soul connection, feeling connected to my spirit guides. And so I just want to make sure you all have the tools you need in terms of what I can offer. So I'll chat a little bit about how to use those resources at home so you can make the most of the time that you put in, because I'm all about that. And then we will get ready for the guided hypnotic journey that's included in this episode. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to it. You'll really love this podcast episode if you've been looking to get a little more acquainted with your spirit guides. So whether it's through the free hypnotic journey at the end of this episode, or you want to learn more about the workshop coming up, this is the episode for you if you've been looking to maybe deepen that connection with your spirit guides or just get more acquainted with them in general. And before we jump into this podcast episode, I just want you to know if you listen to it and you think of someone who you're like, ooh, this person would really like to know this information or really like to experience this hypnotic journey, I would be so thankful if you forwarded it to a friend or someone you care about who you think would maybe be interested in this, or maybe you know they would be. And if you listen to it and you're like, wow, that was really great, I got something out of that, if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave me a review, I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much to everybody who's already left a review, clicked the 5 stars, and even typed a little something. I read them all. I get a little email every week that says, you got a new podcast review, or here's where you're lined up. And so to read them in that email, it's just a fun little surprise for me because for whatever reason, I'm never expecting it. So the latest review comes from Miss Jeep 4191, and they say, great podcast. I just discovered Gina's podcast and I am already hooked. I love her honesty and knowledge on the subjects of past lives and spirit guides. Thank you so much for being here, Miss Jeep, and everybody else. Clicking the 5 stars, leaving the reviews. I see it and I appreciate it so very much. So thank you. And let's get this podcast episode started. Gather around the fire. Here we go. First up, I'm talking about the Getting to Know Your Spirit Guides workshop, and I am so excited to do this. So I wouldn't have guessed that this would be a workshop like a year ago that I would be doing. But one of the things that I have a lot of conversations with are clients, especially right now. And I don't know if it's been kind of the quarantine plus the limited going out, if people are going out now. But really, a lot of people are feeling like, I am awakening. I'm just becoming more aware. I'm feeling called to dig in and get to know myself, whether it's get to know my soul's history by past life regression or, really deepen that connection with my intuition and understand what's intuition and what's ego or what's just made up. And really what it comes down to and why I created this was because I'm getting so much feedback like that from clients or people who are not clients yet and who just have questions of just, what is this? What can I do? And the thing that I can offer up the most is the thing that helped me the most is, of course, past life regression helped me, as you all know that from listening to this whole entire podcast, and it still continues to help me. But the thing I think that gives me the most peace on a regular basis is my connection with my spirit guides. The love I feel when I'm in trance and having, like, whether it's astral travel or out-of-body experience, when I'm connecting with my spirit guide, it's just this unearthly, ancient, all-knowing kind of love. And it's not, we don't have that human reaction of like, oh no, these people really see me and it's scary. Or, oh, this love that I'm feeling and I'm blocking it. It's almost like when you're in that trance state, well, it is like when you're in that trance state, those egoic or kind of like conscious mind blocks that we have are just released. And for me, that connection to my spirit guides is not only incredibly like rejuvenating and refueling, but anytime I have a question in business or in my personal life, I always think, I'm just someone who's always thinking. I'm always thinking about it. And if I can't logically get there on my own, or if the logical decision just doesn't sit right in my stomach or my chest, then I say, I'm going to go into trance, I'm going to go into meditation and talk about this with my spirit guides. And whenever I do that, the answers are always super clear, super simple. And even when the answer isn't as complete as I want it to be, I always get the next step. And that's a lot of times what intuition is. Intuition isn't always like this, I'm going to look in the crystal ball and see your future. It's really just like, this is the next right step. And so that is my answer to that, is like a lot of people are just kind of, whether it's because they have the time, whether it's because they've been laid off or they've had a great amount of time on their own, people are craving a little bit more. And if speaking to or having a connection to your spirit guides is something that interests you, then I think you're going to like this workshop. So it's a 2-hour exploratory workshop. It is on September 10th, and it will be in the evening, 6:30 to 8:30. And in that time, we'll open it up. I always open it up with a special meditation, just invoking our spirit guides, invoking their guidance, their protection. And then I'll go in and just chat a little bit about, like, what does the term spirit guide include when I'm talking about it? And I think that's important because it's your spirit guide and you can decide what it is that you want that to include. And everybody's got a little bit of a different, sometimes, spin on what a spirit guide is. What does it include? Does it include angels? Does it include my grandpa who passed away? So I'll be talking about what I mean when I say spirit guide, and then you can take that as your own. You can add to it. You can put your own little finesse on it. So either way. And then I'll talk a little bit about my spirit guides, kind of how I met them, their roles. And if you've listened to this podcast, you've heard bits and pieces about it. So I kind of bring it all together. I talk about spirit guides versus higher self. And what does that mean? And how are they different? How can we use them both to our advantage? And then I will be talking specifically about like how to get messages to and from your spirit guides. And it's way more simple than people make it. And it's something that in my experience, in my belief, and what I see in myself, my clients, and even the friends around me doing this work, is really like the more you connect with them, the easier it gets to connect with them. So the easier it gets to connect with them when you're sitting down and intentionally doing it. But with that practice, then you're able to actually like have conversations, see their wisdom and their insights without having to sit down and be completely in trance. But the trance part of it is just because when you're in trance, your senses are completely heightened. It's easier to feel what their guidance feels like. This is my experience, and with the clients that I talk to about this, it's easier to feel what their guidance feels like in that trance state. So then it feels more familiar and you can identify it as their guidance and wisdom just in your daily life, if you don't have time to sit down and meditate, or if you don't have time to lay down and do the whole trance. So it's almost like a workout, right? We do the trance, we make the connection, but then that makes that connection in the rest of our lives even easier. So throughout this workshop, you'll have different points in time where you can ask questions. We will then create an intention together for the hypnotic soul journey that we're about to take during that. And then once we have that, we'll take a journey to what I call the Garden of the Guides. This is where a lot of my clients meet their guides. Not everyone has to go to a garden to meet their guides, and that is a-okay. But anytime a client is looking to meet their guide, I like to bring them to this special garden space. And that's where we can kind of pick up on their energy and get to know them better. Maybe get a name if you haven't gotten a name from them yet. Get some guidance, insight, some answers, maybe if you have questions or looking for other understandings. And really just being open to that unique experience for you. And then after that hypnotic journey, we'll come back together where you can ask questions about the process or whatever it is that you experienced, or you can just share what you experienced. And then we'll dive into ways, like really simple tricks on how to keep this communication open with your guide or guides, however many show up. Most of us have more than one, it's my understanding, but a lot of times just one will be revealed at a time, which is also why after the entire workshop, you'll receive an email with a replay link so you can listen to it as much as you'd like, which I also call out in the workshop, or what I will be calling out in the workshop is ways for you to actually use it going forward. If you're anything like me, you've got a surplus of replay links from the last few months from different Zoom things, but those are all great, but they're not going to make us do anything. So what I like to do is really just like where the rubber meets the road. So like, what are some things that you need to do to actually move forward and use the recording as much as you'd like? And it's really just about some simple tricks and tips and understanding your excuses and that sort of thing, and just ways to keep yourself on track, ways that have helped me and ways that have helped the clients that I work with. Creating this workshop has been so much fun, of just rereading some books about spirit guides and intuition and that connection, and just kind of reigniting and revisiting where I was, even a couple years ago, of just trying to figure all this out. So I am just so excited to take everything that I've learned and just kind of let you have the fast track to your spirit guide. So again, that's on September 10th, and that is 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and that is Central Standard Time in the USA. So go ahead and look up and see what that means to you. Also in the registration link, you'll be able to easily convert that time zone. You'll pick your time zone that you're in. And yeah, it'll be $49 and it's limited to 20 people. So registration will open up first to everybody on my email list. So if you're on my email list, that's great. Just look out for that email. If you are not on my email list, hop over to pastlivesandthedivine.com/subscribe, and then you'll get an email and get the first chance to register. If it doesn't fill up with the people on my email list, then 3 days later, I believe, then I'll be opening up to everybody else who is not on my email list. So registration opens up August 27th for those people on my email list, and for everyone else, it'll open up August 31st. So if you've got an inkling and you think you might want to do it, just go ahead and hop on my email list, pastlivesandthedivine.com/subscribe, just so you can get first crack at registering for it. Okay. Of course, if you have any questions, you can just let me know. So that is everything about the Getting to Know Your Spirit Guides workshop. Like I said, I created that workshop really in response because in the last, 4 or 5 months, it seems like almost every client that comes to me who's brand new to me is saying things like, it's been going on for a year. I just feel like my intuition is awakening. I feel like I'm more conscious now. I feel like now is the time my soul is just like, get to know me, get to know me. I've had so many people just say they're awakening on some level. And so for me, like I said, offering a spirit guide workshop is something that I worked really hard on, is like blazing that path, getting to know my spirit guides, and just the level of calm and ease and trust that has helped me let go of like gripping and controlling so much has just really increased. And I can't put a value on that. So that is what I would bring to you. But also, if you can't afford that, whether it's the time, the energy, or the money, all of them are valid. I wanted to offer you, if you're feeling like you're evolving, opening, awakening, there's additional free resources for accessing the insights and the healing from our past lives, our higher self, our spirit guide. So, of course, we have the hypnotic journey that comes later in this podcast episode, where you get a taste of the garden of the guides. Maybe you can meet your guide, get some additional healing from your guide, some insights, some wisdom. So we have that today, but then I also, if you go to pastlivesandthedivine.com and click on the past life journey at home, or is it called the At Home Past Life Journey? But it's on the left navigation on the bottom. It's the last link. And if you click that, that's an at-home journey. It's a downloadable audio recording that you can just listen to. And it really just helps you to start awakening that connection to past lives. And if you're someone who has already done some past life work, every time you do it, you're going to get something different. Every time you do it, even if you saw the same past life more than once, you'll get something different. And just every time you do it, you're going to go maybe a little bit faster, a little bit farther. You're opening that connection to more of those memories, and you're just really kind of sitting in the soup of your intuition and understanding how it comes in, which affects you not only in every hypnotic journey, but just in your life in general. Those intuitive insights that you get under hypnosis, you really get the sense of what that truth feels like. And then it's easier to notice your intuition and what are those intuitive hits as we move through our daily life. And another free resource, if you're someone who, and this is really common right now too, a lot of people, their dreams that they're having at night are just like wild or really emotional or just really plentiful and vibrant and creative. And so I get a lot of people who are like, I'm having all kinds of wild dreams. What do I do about this? And so episode 19 of the podcast is actually includes a 25-minute-ish hypnotic journey to help you discover the insights kind of hidden in your reoccurring dreams. So in that podcast episode, I also talk about just why hypnosis is a tool for dream interpretation and then my own experience with it. So that's another option. And then the final option that I want to call out in terms of free resources, getting to know yourself, healing, is episode 10 of the podcast. So episode 10 of the podcast is called A Guided Hypnosis Session for the Holidays. And it's really about taking, even though it was centered around the holidays, it's really about taking like, what do you want to let go of? What do you want to call into your life? And then going through a hypnotic journey just to really fold into the fabric of your subconscious mind, of letting something go, healing on an energetic level, using the power of your mind and your soul to set that framework of letting go of some fear, some beliefs that are no longer serving you, and then calling in like the parts of your life or the emotions that you want to feel more of. And so that's episode 10 of the podcast. And that whole episode is about setting up for that journey. We do a little journaling of questions before the actual hypnotic trance journey. And then we do the trance, and then there's some optional follow-up questions, journaling that you can do after that. So that is episode 10 of the podcast. I think those are really great resources. They're kind of my go-to for things that just depending on what I'm dealing with. And so for sure, check those out, especially check them out if you feel like the Spirit Guide workshop maybe isn't for you. I want you to just check them out, know that they're there, and if you're feeling called to it, do it. But of course, like I always say, don't ever let any of this stuff become a way to like weaponize or to be a weapon that you use against yourself. So if you feel like, hey, I'm going to do this, and maybe you square time away on your schedule, or maybe you don't, if you find yourself not doing it, really resist the urge of kind of beating yourself up about it. Hopefully that's not your reality. I know it's really easy to do just because we live in a society where productivity and money are king and queen. But to know like changes can be happening without you doing anything. So even if you just do the hypnotic journey that sounds good to you right now, that's kicking off changes that'll affect you going forward for days, weeks, months. So just feel good about that and know that if it ever feels like a grind or you're just not feeling it or it's one more thing you got to do, it's okay. Just like let it go and know that it's there and you can always come back to it. Just have it be another tool in your tool belt. Some tips for using these free resources. Again, don't use it as a weapon against yourself. If it works, great. If you find it doesn't fit in your schedule, that's okay. I do find that it helps to actually write it on your schedule, like schedule in time to do these things if it is something that you want to do. And a question I get a lot is like, when can I do this stuff? Or what if I fall asleep? And if you feel like you fall asleep easily to hypnotic things, maybe try it earlier in the day, try it at a different time of day. But if that has not historically been an issue for you, you could always turn on these recordings like as you're going to sleep at night or first thing when you wake up in the morning and schedule it in, put a reminder on your phone if that helps you. But just working in that time and intentionally squaring the time away, whether you do it once, sometimes with hypnotic recordings, especially ones where we're like letting go of fear, for example, some people say to do that for 30 days and then, to really get the most out of it. And I think that sounds great. And I've never stuck to a hypnotic recording that long. I just can't do it. I've tried it. I've done things for like 2 weeks, but eventually I'm just like, I'm so sick of listening to that voice. But, and I can't listen to my own voice. I get like weird anxiety feelings when I'm listening to my own voice. And I don't know if it's because I'm like critiquing it on some level or being like, oh, I should have done this instead. But so that's kind of a bummer, but I don't really sweat it. So you could do it once a day for 30 days. You could do it just once, see how it goes. You could do it just every time you're kind of feeling stressed, stuck, blocked. You could do that. Anytime you're trying to understand something, whether it's an emotional reaction or a person that kind of triggers you, you could always do the past life journey, see where that origin of that issue or that trigger is. That's an option there. But, just go into it with maybe if you're someone who wants to do it on a regular basis, you can set that up. Like I said, I've never done anything for 30 days straight, but for example, I have a releasing fear audio recording in my shop, which I have different audio recordings for $8. So that's an inexpensive option to get it there. If you go to calminghypnosis.com and click on shop, you can get those audio recordings there. But for example, one way I use like the releasing fear one, not too long. We got Tula probably a year and a half ago at this point, and a few months after getting her, we were leaving her with our dog sitter, who's great, for a weekend, but I just have a lot of fear, and because she was such a fearful dog and just afraid of everything and usually cowering in the corner over something, I was just really afraid that would like add to her anxiety and her trauma. So in that, I was having a lot of anxiety about leaving her. And so what I did when I noticed that and was like, this fear is like irrational. Like my dog sitter is set up. She's great. The doggy daycare that she goes to during the day is great. Like these are all just irrational fears at this point, because if I am this scared and there's nothing to be scared about, to me, that's what I call, for me personally, an irrational fear. Then I sat down and did like the fear release audio recording. And I would do that during the day, or sometimes I'd do it as I fell asleep at night. And it's just, for me, it was a really good way to kind of like peel back of all the layers of fear. And for me, when the fear is irrational like that, like I've covered all the bases, but I'm still extremely fearful, then it's about just like, you got to like let go and let God, or let go and let the universe, whatever word you want to use, because it's like, I can do as much as I can do humanly possible. I'd like to go away for the weekend and enjoy myself, instead of always kind of feeling like this background low-key sadness about what Tula may or may not be feeling. And so I did that for like 5 days straight before the trip, and it helped me a ton. And that's how I base the success of what I'm doing, is like, but how do I feel afterward? Like I personally don't get all turned on by like, oh, I did this for 30 days, check. Because when it comes to the soul and the subconscious mind, linear and things about like time on the clock, time passing as the earth is orbiting the sun, none of that stuff is always, what I'll say is that stuff isn't always relative when it comes to working with the soul. So to take soul work and be like, oh, you have to do it 30 days to get the most out of it, I think that's a real human thing to say. And so if you intuitively feel like I'm going to commit the time and do it. But I just want you to know, let's try to get away from like these parameters of when we think we'll be good enough, and instead tune into the soul, tune into the issue, tune into the emotional reaction that we're having, and let that be the deciding factor as to where we're going next and whether we feel like we're successful or not. So that is my little tidbit on how to use it without using it against yourself. Listen to it once, listen to it as many times as you want. If it really seems like something you could use, maybe squaring time away in your schedule for it. Okay, on to today's healing hypnotic journey. I can't wait for you to listen to this latest recording, because I took some magical liberties in this induction. So in terms of like creating hypnotic inductions for people, so hypnotic induction is just really essentially, if you're completely unfamiliar with hypnosis, it's the portion where I basically lead you through what really feels like a guided meditation, even though we're going deeper and using certain cues to get further into your subconscious mind. But it feels like a guided meditation. And in that induction, I've just started doing things that are a little more fun. And so this is the first time I'm actually putting out a recording. I've done some things behind the scenes and some things that I'm working on for future projects where I'm like, let's get a little crazy with this stuff. So I'm excited to have you listen to the induction, and you're going to have to let me know, was it like scary or freeing? It's all about just like kind of whimsy and having fun. Also, I'm 39 and just watched Alice in Wonderland for the first time, which, holy shit, that's such a fun movie, like right up my alley. And I think of like why I never watched it growing up, and I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up just because I like movies, but I'm just not like a movie person. It's just not my favorite thing to do. It's not high on the list. But maybe it was like Alice's straight-laced kind of dress and apron that turned me off to that movie. But I watched that movie for the first time and it was pretty cool. So anyways, I don't know if that was like the extra push to get a little more whimsy in my inductions, but humor me, don't analyze it. Just go with it. Let me know what you think. Okay. So let's get settled in and listen to this healing hypnotic journey. Journeying to the garden of the guides, where you'll be able to sense your spirit guide, possibly see your spirit guide or feel them beside you, and gain some healing from the special garden and your spirit guide around you. Get settled in. Here we go. Hi, this is Gina from Past Lives and the Divine. This is an audio recording to help you become more peaceful, physically, energetically. However, this should never take the place of advice or care from your medical doctor. This should only be listened to when you're safe to close your eyes and recline or lie down flat. Are you ready? Let's begin. Settling into a comfortable position, maybe uncrossing your arms and legs, shifting to get comfortable. And now let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. Inhaling, deep breath in all the way into your belly, your solar plexus, the very center of your being. And a full breath out. And with each breath, breathe in light, love, peace, protection. And as you exhale, anything negative, any stress, tightness that's within you. Good. And taking one more deep cleansing breath in and full breath out. And then just returning to the natural rhythm of your breath. Just drifting to the sound of my voice. And you'll focus intently on the images and suggestions. And know that if you drop too deeply asleep, you'll hear my voice saying the word now. You'll respond to the word now. It'll sound loud and clear but pleasant in your ear. And you'll wake up just enough to focus once again intently on the suggestions. Pictures, images, impressions, feelings, or knowings. They'll all float easily into your mind in response to my words. And now I'd like you to visualize a root going from the bottom of your feet, through the floor, through the layers of the earth. See this root wrap around a rock at the core of the earth. And now see this root reach and grow back up through the layers of the earth, through the floor, into your feet, and up your legs, connecting you, grounding you to Mother Earth. And now open your crown, the very top of your head, and allow light to come in. Beautiful light from the universe, from above, from our source, from our creator. And allow this light to come in. Allow this light to begin to penetrate every part of your being. As you go deeper and deeper relaxed, have this light be a color that's healing and loving to you. It can be any color or any combination of colors that you wish. Just have the color feel warm and loving to you. And as these light frequencies, these color come in through the crown of your head, feel its warmth and love as it touches your forehead, your eyebrows, and your eyes, releasing and relaxing all the muscles across your forehead and all the tiny muscles around your eyes. And now know that this light is moving down around your jaw, releasing and relaxing, down your neck, bringing its warmth and relaxation all along your neck, across your shoulders, down into your arms, biceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingertips. And now imagine this light moving down your back, your spine, bringing peace and relaxation as it moves all the way down to the base of your spine. sending a wave of relaxation through the muscles, the tissues, the fibers, the cells, all throughout your back. As you feel yourself become more soft, heavier, more relaxed. And now know that this light and its warmth and its peace are moving around in your chest, opening up your heart chakra, removing any blocks you may have to this experience, to this journey. As this light moves down into your abdomen, touching every organ in your body, bringing a sense of healing, peace, relaxation. And now this light moves down into your hips, into your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, into your feet. And now imagine, sense, feel, or just know that this light is following that route through the layers of the earth, down to the core of the earth. That light wraps around that rock, following that route as it goes back up through the layers of the earth, through the floor, into your legs, up your spine, and out the crown of your head. And you are now totally connected with that universal light and love and wisdom, and grounded to Mother Earth. And now imagine, feel, sense, see, or just know that there's a spark of light in the center of your being. Know that it's there, whether you can see it in your mind's eye or not. And I want you to imagine, sense, feel, or know that this light is getting bigger and brighter. This light that's in the center of you is the light of your soul. It's the ancient, all-knowing, eternal part of you. The part of you that holds all your memories, all your life plans of every life and the life in between lives. Effortlessly and automatically with each breath and each heartbeat, know that the spark of light is growing bigger and brighter with each breath and each heartbeat. Seeing this spark of light begin to grow so big and so bright that it's now the size of your physical body. Feeling this light of your soul all around you, feeling more connected to your soul now than you ever have. And now know that this light grows bigger and brighter until it begins to form a bubble of light all around you. Have this bubble of light surround you with its love and protection. And you are now totally protected, grounded to Mother Earth, and connected with that universal love and wisdom. Only love and truth can penetrate this bubble as you go deeper and deeper relaxed. Anything you may hear, such as voices, footsteps, traffic, a phone ringing, or any other noises, will only take you deeper into this relaxed state. You'll go deeper relaxed whenever you hear any noises that are not my voice. Good. Deeper, deeper relaxed. And now, because you're in this wonderfully relaxed state, you can feel and access your soul self, the ancient, all-knowing part of you, The communication pathway between you and your spirit guides is open, wider, and clearer than it's ever been. Just continuing to settle in, feeling the light of your soul around you, enjoying the comfort of this special place in this bubble of light. Only truth and love can penetrate this bubble. And as you continue to settle in and become more and more relaxed, you see that the light of your soul inside this protective, loving bubble of light around you begins to emanate out beyond that protective bubble. You remain protected in this loving bubble of light, but the light of your soul reaches out far beyond that protective bubble, connecting you with all the energies of the universe, all the healing energies, all the wisdom, all the knowledge about everything that ever was, is, or will be. Good. Enjoying the comfort of this special place and all of the universal light around you, the light of your soul around you. And in this space of all of this light of your soul and the universe, you start to see colors, lights, flowers, mountains, water. You may feel the breeze or the sun on your skin. You feel so at peace and inspired in this place. And you see now that there's a path near you, an inviting, welcoming, interesting path. So you move toward that path and begin to move down that path. Moving down this path now, noting the beauty of this place, seeing the joy and the wonder here. As you move down this path, you start to see more and more trees around you. Moving down this path, you become more and more aware of the number of trees around you, the color and the texture of their bark and leaves, the differing heights and angles. Noticing the differences of the trees around you, but you notice something that feels the same tree to tree. You pause and feel a rush of love, acceptance, and excitement of your arrival. You begin to understand and sense that these are the feelings of the trees around you. Trees, the keeper of history. The energy between you and them is like the admiration and love between an elder and a protege. As you continue walking, you begin to sense more and more the interconnectedness of it all. Any fears or worries that you have begin to flutter away like a butterfly in the distance. You feel so connected, yet completely free and inspired. Now, in the distance, you begin to see through the trees and the curve in the path. You begin to see a marvelous formation of colors and patterns. As you move closer, you see it's the most beautiful shades of your favorite colors. Moving toward these colors and patterns on this path, as you move closer and closer, you see that this colorful formation is the wing of a giant butterfly. A giant, welcoming, loving butterfly. Bigger than any butterfly you've ever seen. So big you could ride on it. Any hesitations or fears are replaced by a sense of adventure and wonder as you accept the invitation to climb onto the butterfly's back. Climbing onto the butterfly's back, you position yourself on a soft, fluffy part of its back. The butterfly surrounds you with its energetic love and protection as the two of you lift off the ground for a short flight to the Garden of the Guides. You feel calm, yet excited, exhilarated, and free on the back of this butterfly. Taking flight in a way that feels safe and peaceful to you, you notice the ground beneath you, maybe the trees or clouds around you. And soon you notice the butterfly coasting lower and lower to the ground. And before you know it, you've gently landed on the ground. Exiting off the butterfly's back, you send this butterfly love and gratitude, and you feel that love and gratitude from the butterfly in return. You turn around and notice the beauty of this garden, the Garden of the Guides. You feel drawn to the center of the garden, where you notice the exact place you would like to relax. You move over there and get comfortable in this space. Soon you notice the energy of your spirit guide coming from beside you. You may get a name or a clear picture of your guide. However, if the highest and greatest good comes from you focusing on something else, your guide may just be a feeling or a sensation for now. Know that your guide is here. Whether you see them or you just sense them, know that they are here. Sinking even deeper into a relaxed state now, feeling the love and the care from your guide. Asking your higher self and your spirit guide to together do a body scan and notice what needs healing now in your body, mind, or soul. It could be an emotion that feels like it's looping or stuck. It could be a belief that needs to be let go. It could be a physical ache or pain. You may see colors or blocks or mist. Notice what comes up for you right now. Even if you feel like you're making it up, or even if you don't know why it's there, or if you're familiar with this ailment, imagine yourself lying down on the supportive ground or structure beneath you in this garden. With your soul's knowing, the knowing of your higher self, in the power and the love and the protection of your spirit guide. Imagine a rainbow coming over the garden, coming over you. knowing that this rainbow is directly over you now. This rainbow has elected to work with you, your soul, your higher self, and your spirit guide to bring you the healing that you need now. Anything you need to help heal and rejuvenate and clear your mind, body, and soul. See the colors of this rainbow. Imagine the colors of this rainbow, bright and shining in their own ways. Each one of these colors has healing for you. Focusing first on that red color of the rainbow, knowing that this red color will help you feel more grounded, safe, a sense of belonging on your life on earth, rejuvenating that sense of worthiness within you, or replacing that sense of belonging if it's been lost. Calling back any parts of your souls that prevent you from feeling grounded, worthy, and belonging in your regular life. Knowing that any attachments you may have that are no longer serving you in your highest and greatest good, preventing you from feeling grounded, worthy, or like you belong, have now been released. Seeing this color red on the rainbow envelop you in its sense of protection, worthiness, filling you with a sense of belonging and a sense of personal value. Good. Seeing that light, that red beam of light from the rainbow, you feel so much more grounded, so much more connected to your soul, your soul's purpose. You feel more worthy than you ever have, and you feel like you belong. A sense of belonging coming from within, sense of belonging coming from this connection with your spirit guide and your higher self. Allow this color and these feelings to continue to fill your physical body, your mind, and your soul. Good. Knowing that any energetic residues that were released as a result of bathing in this red light from the rainbow have now been released, catapulted onto the sun. So any heavy, negative, tight, any limiting, stuck emotions or beliefs have now been released to the sun, and the sun transmutes these energy to a higher frequency. And this higher frequency of energy, this healing, wise energy, will come back to the earth and all her people on the earth in the future via the sun's rays. And now, thank that beam of red light holding that energy within you, knowing that it's yours, feeling more and more connected to the energies of this rainbow with every color, every minute, every day, every week, and every month in the future. Now, allowing that orange light coming from the rainbow, bringing you the healing energies of remaining open, flexible, and and creative. Creative in every part of your life. Even if you don't think of yourself as creative, using your creative energy to see things in a different light, to do things in a different way, to feel things differently. Bringing in that orange light, seeing that light from the rainbow, feeling any additional healing efforts from your spirit guide, from your higher self, knowing that you filling your physical body, your mind, your soul, and the energy fields all around you with this orange light. And this orange light brings a sense of openness, flexibility, and creativity to you. Reestablishing those parts of your soul, calling them back now if you've lost them in the past. Good. Strengthening that sense of openness, flexibility, creativity within you. Feeling those feelings growing within you, knowing, seeing, sensing this change that is happening, using the power of your soul. Along with that sense of openness and flexibility and creativity that this orange light brings to you to amplify those things within you, or to call back any parts of your soul that are missing, or to release any attachments, any residues from any past life situation. Good. Releasing those residues that may block you from feeling open, flexible, and creative. Good. Releasing any attachments or residues that are no longer serving your highest and greatest good. Seeing them in your mind's eye or using your imagination to see these attachments and residues being picked up by your spirit guide and thrown into the sun, where the sun transmutes it into a positive, higher frequency of energy that will be returned to earth via the sun's rays. Good. And knowing that every day, every minute, every week, every month, you'll feel more and more open, more and more flexible, more and more tuned into the creativity of your soul. And now focusing on that yellow light from the rainbow. That yellow light coming down, engulfing you completely in its presence, in its color, and the properties of confidence, determination, and self-reverence. Good. See this light. See this confidence and determination and self-reverence. See those frequencies filling your body, your mind, your soul, and the energetic spaces around you, bathing you in the frequency of this healing yellow light, helping you to feel more confidence, more determination, more self-reverence. Feeling that healing energy now, knowing as this light fills your body, with this confidence, determination, and self-reverence. At the same time, you're releasing any attachments, any residues that are no longer serving you for your highest and greatest good. And with this yellow light, you're also calling back any parts of your soul that have been missing, calling them back now to help you feel more confident, more determined, more reverent. As this yellow light releases those attachments and residues, see your spirit guide take them from you and throw them into the sun. And you have now released any attachments, any residues from any past lives, any soul wounding. Release them, and the sun has transmuted them to a higher frequency. And the sun will share this higher frequency with Earth and all her children as this healing higher frequency of energy comes down to Earth via the sun's rays. And now focusing on that light of green from the rainbow. This is the light of true healing, of opening you up even further to your soul's memories, your soul's future, your soul's plans. Opening you up to receive and give love clearly and purely. Now allow this green light to come into your physical body, where it fills your physical body, it fills your mind, fills your soul, and fills the energetic spaces around you. Good. Yes, imagine, sense, see, feel, or just know that you are being bathed in this green light, this light that opens you, strengthens your connection and your clarity to your soul's memories, your soul's future, and the lessons that you're here to learn. This green light opening you up to give and receive love even more fully, even more completely. Good. Bathing yourself in this healing green light. It's an automatic call and invitation to the parts of your soul that you've lost, the parts of your soul that help you to feel this connection, to keep this connection open to your soul, and to keep you open to giving and receiving love in its purest form. Good. And now releasing any attachments, any residues that are no longer serving you for your highest and greatest good. Allowing the green light to sever these attachments, to dissolve this residue. And now see, imagine, sense, or just know that your spirit guide is taking those residues and those attachments and throwing them into the sun. where they've been transmuted into a higher healing frequency of light. Healing frequencies that in the future will come down to Earth and all her children via the sun's rays. Good. And now focusing on the blue light from that rainbow. See that blue frequency of light coming toward you and now filling you. See this blue light fill you physically, mentally, fills up your soul and the energetic spaces around you. And with this healing blue light, brings in the healing properties of knowing your truth, being able to speak your truth. God, being able to advocate for yourself and tell other people what you need. And in doing this, giving other people permission to know what they need and ask for what they need. But imagine, sense, feel, or just simply know that you are being filled up with this blue light from this healing rainbow, connecting you deeper with your own personal truth and the ability to communicate your truth and your needs to yourself and other people. Good. And calling back any parts of your soul that have been lost due to soul wounding in speaking your truth or knowing your truth. Know that those parts of your soul are coming back to you now. Being seamlessly integrated, healed and rejuvenated through this blue light. And know that in this blue light, we're also releasing any attachments or residues that are no longer serving you for your highest and greatest good. Anything that your soul has picked up on its journey of evolution, these things are now being released, severed, or dissolved by this blue light. Good. Allowing the blue light to do the work, knowing you just have to relax into it. And now know that your spirit guide is taking any of those attachments, any of those residues, putting them all in a ball and again throwing it into the sun, where these lower or more negative attachments, residues are transmuted into a higher frequency, a frequency of love and truth and healing that comes down to the earth through the sun's rays. God. And now bring your focus to the purple light of that rainbow above you. Any shade of purple that feels natural to you, see that frequency of light redirect and come right to you, filling you up, filling your physical body, filling your mind, filling your soul, filling the energetic space all around you with this purple light. This purple light opens you up to the wisdom of the universe, of your spirit guides, and your higher self. This purple light opens up your intuition and opens up your sense of knowing what's right for you, knowing what's right for any decision and any fork of the road for you. With this connection, this opening to your intuition, to your spirit guides, to your higher self, and to the universal wisdom. Good. Releasing any blocks, any attachments, any residues that may block you from feeling this completely. Seeing that purple light, sever, remove, or dissolve them. As that purple light works, know that it's also calling back any parts of your soul that were fractured or removed or accidentally left behind. Any missing parts of your soul that are needed to help you feel more open and connected to the universe, to your higher self, to your spirit guides. Good. To the wisdom of the universe. Good. Seamlessly integrating those parts of your soul back in. As your spirit guide takes any attachments or residues that were once blocking you and throws them into the sun. And the sun transmutes that energy into a higher frequency. Good. Coming down back to the earth via the sun's rays, bathing Mother Earth and her children, these more positive, healing frequency of light. Good. Knowing that with each day that passes, more and more you'll feel more and more connected to universal wisdom, to your higher power, to your higher self, to your spirit guides, to yourself and your own intuition. Every day that gets easier and easier, effortlessly and automatically. And now thank that rainbow for sharing its healing frequencies of light and color with you. Sending its gratitude and love back to you. Before we come back to the present moment, let's ask your spirit guides, is there anything else that you need to know? Anything that will help you on your journey today or in the near future? Good. Acknowledge any insights you may be getting. Allowing any wisdom to come in or bubble up or slowly take shape. And whether you can see your spirit guide or just simply sense them or know that they're there, do they have a name that you could use to contact them? allowing whatever to come in, whether it's a name you recognize or a letter. Good. Now, before moving on from this space, from this garden, ask for more guidance in your mind in this garden space. Either ask your guides a question that's been on your mind, or you can ask your guide, what else do you need to know before you leave this safe space that will help you bring in more creativity, vibrancy, magnetism, feelings of abundance, or anything else for you and your highest and greatest good at this time. Trust the first answers you get. It might be a mantra or something to visualize or a task to complete. Maybe a picture of something or another suggestion. Allow any suggestions, images, or guidance to settle in now. Every day you become more and more consciously and unconsciously aware of how blessed you are. You know you're becoming more purpose-filled, more content and satisfied, more confident. It feels amazing, and you know it's because of the work you've done. You're more powerful than you know, and you feel that glow from within. And you see yourself sharing that glow with those you choose to come into contact with in the future. Feel the warmth of that glow now. And feel it expand outward to your future self and everyone that you come into contact with and everything you do in the future. Sense or feel this within you and emanating from you now. And now it's time to return to the present moment, floating away from that garden, sending love and gratitude to your spirit guide or your guides, your higher self, any other enlightened beings who were there with you, offering you guidance and protection. Sending them love and gratitude as you move away from that garden and float back toward the present moment. Closer and closer now, returning to the present moment, getting ready to move into the next phase of your day or night in a way that's seamless, peaceful, and desirable. I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and when I say 1, you'll be balanced and ready for the part of your day or night that comes next. Feeling empowered and relief because you took this journey here to release anything that's not serving you anymore and call in all the goodness of stability, a sense of belonging and worthiness, a sense of openness and flexibility, confidence, determination, self-reverence, a sense of openness to yourself, to your soul, an openness to give and receive love more purely. You've received an opening to your truth, accessing your truth more easily, speaking your truth with more ease. We've opened that connection to your intuition, to the higher guidance system around you. Taking all of these things with you as you come back to the present moment. starting your count back to the present moment now. 5, remembering everything you've experienced, bringing that knowledge, insights, and guidance back with you to the present moment. 4, very satisfied with everything you've experienced and all the information and healing you received. 3, more in touch with the room around you. 2, beginning to feel sensation in your fingers and toes. And 1, feeling wonderful, comfortable, confident, peaceful, and easing into the next part of your day or night.